I'm Charlie Capen. I'm the owner, proprietor, poodle shaver here at Momentus. Welcome, everyone, to the Women of SPN. Obviously, over a decade and a half of supernatural episodes. This legion of talented women who have acted on the show is vast, many. If you've rewatched it lately, you also know that Supernatural was the launchpad for so many careers, including these amazing women. So, if you have questions for this badass group, please use the Q&A box. The chat is now open. Love to hear from you, where you're from. Hello. Look, okay, now yes, the chat is on. So please use the Q&A box so that you can ask questions, because I'm not going to be able to keep track of them here in the chat, obviously. But we are joined by 12 inimitable, vibrant, brilliant, badass women here. You know their names. They were killed way too many times or way too quickly, but they spent time on your screen, and that moment lasted with us. And so I'm so excited to introduce, without further rambling on my part, Elena Huffman, Brianna Buckmaster, Emily Swallow, Felicia Day, Julie McNiven, Kim Rhodes, Lisa Berry, Rachel Miner, Ruth Connell, Sam Smith, Shoshana Stern. Let's get me off the freaking screen. Dear God. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Look at this group.
Hello, ladies. God love ya. God love ya.
Oh my goodness.
It
Okay,
is
so
the best group.
the best. Look at these faces. So, when was the last time, like, has this group ever been assembled all together before? Let me ask that.
No.
God, no. No, God, no. Are you kidding me? Somebody
Somebody would
would pay for that.
explode. Nobody's brave enough, Charlie.
Yeah.
It's our first one.
Yeah.
It's hard to pin us all down in the one place too, I will say.
Yeah.
Whose idea was this to put all of you in one place at the same time? It's going to break something. I can already feel
It's
it.
yours, Charlie.
Great.
You are drunk.
I think the best part about this, though, is like Felicia and I I think, talked about this. We were just in Liverpool.
But I
together
just saw you. We see each other in pairs sometimes.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
But ironically, like so few of us have actually worked together
Right.
on the show.
Have you, who here has worked together outside of Supernatural? None of you?
Oh, outside of Supernatural.
I've worked with Elena.
Julie and I were
Although,
on
Elena, did we actually have scenes together?
No,
I don't think so.
but we were on the same show.
We were.
Close. It's like we can't align the planets too much, or like something metaphysical will happen.
If we were on the same show, then Kim and I were also both on Kung Fu.
Oh.
Yes,
Right. But you didn't work together.
Yeah, but we did not even remotely close to work together.
My goodness.
And Ruthie and I were both on Doom Patrol, but definitely did not work together.
Yeah. Lisa and I sometimes write together. Try.
That's awesome. And okay, so let me ask this: if we took this group of women and made a film or a TV series, what genre would you like it to be? Let me ask you that.
I mean,
Emmy.
A musical.
Oh wow, a musical.
Thriller.
Yeah.
Thriller.
I mean,
You
look,
sing so
Felicia
well.
and I sort of did a musical
comedy
direct
musical.
together.
We've done some TikToks together
Yeah, Felicia and I did a musical in a bathroom.
with Christy Brinkley. That was weird.
What?
True story. Christy Brinkley was in our TikTok.
Yeah,
In the
it was
bathroom.
weird. And she looks great. That's what's
And she was
upsetting.
really excited to do it.
Yeah, that was even weirder.
Yeah, I would enjoy any genre with any of these women. Shoshana and I threatened for a while we wanted to work together, so maybe someday. But yeah, I would love to do anything. But I think if it was like the group of us, it would have to be like superhero or something.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
it
was
would
gonna say,
transcend
like,
genre.
it was all of
Like a
us.
spy thriller or something,
we could do that, yeah.
espionage. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That'd
definitely
be-
would want something really badass.
Okay,
Yeah,
someone
same.
needs to get on that.
But for us.
Yeah, Julie.
Oh, yeah, it's
Someone
Ocean's
needs to get on that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
Julie,
busy.
write
I'm busy
that.
trying to
Let's
write
go.
something over and over and over again, and it's so much fun. I love it.
Amazing. Well, okay, so questions are coming in now, but my question to you also is, if, in terms of Supernatural, if you could swap roles with someone else on the show, who would that be? Who would you swap with and why?
Who had the most episodes? That
I was
person.
gonna say Ruth.
Ruth
Ruth.
of this group, probably
Ruth and I
Ruth
think
or
are
Sam.
higher, so
Ruth
Yeah,
or
well, definitely
Ruth or
Ruth.
Sam?
Sam, I think.
I'll take it.
Also, Sam over like 15 years, so a good run, right?
I'm just making jokes.
who was on the show the longest would be me.
Mhm.
But I think Ruthie, I can't remember if it's you or me, but
I think it was Ruth.
I'm
I,
thinking of all the time outside Emily had to spend in short sleeves. So I'm like, not that. That seemed cold.
I
See
think
how
that
pragmatic we are?
I think that the demon Meg was the longest running demon, but that wasn't all me.
Oh, that's good.
Good
But I
point.
think if I had to choose a character, like I would love to play something very different. So
Mhm.
I was trying to think. Like I always thought Charlie was a really fun character and
Mhm.
much more like much closer to me in that like that nerdy whatever way. But I think I can only say that because I got to play Meg and I wouldn't trade that for the world because she was so fun.
Mhm.
I think casting did a remarkable job
I was gonna say, yeah.
because not every show can afford to have actresses that have just done theatre before or are not as well known. But because Supernatural was so solid, a show in itself, it could afford to give people like me a chance. And therefore, every single person here was cast so perfectly
Yeah.
because of their
Mhm.
talent and their ability to play that role. I honestly I don't want to play anyone else. I love every single person in here, and everything they did with their characters was perfect.
I also don't know the show well enough to be like,
clothes.
yeah. And I think that when I think of who would I like to play, and realistically, I'm thinking about wanting to be the actress playing the person. I don't actually want to play the character. I'm like, I want to be Elena Huffman for a day.
Right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like combo, like I was like, oh, I want to steal both of your answers. I should have said that. No, but I've actually said it in panels and stuff before. It's like I think with every one of these characters, the reason I love them is because of who is playing them.
Yeah.
So
And to kind of
Anna,
piggyback,
you can come over and do all the laundry I have today.
Yeah, I'll join you.
All yours, baby.
Yeah, I'll join you on that. It's a very glamorous life.
I am also doing laundry. Yes.
Yeah. Saturday, baby.
Great.
Saturday.
With all your plants, Sam. Sam's a plant mommy.
It's some of my plants had to come in for the winter. So now they get to live inside.
Yeah.
2 of them are from
poison
California
ivy.
and they really don't do winter.
It's
Okay,
cold
so-
here. It's like 60 degrees here. I had to break out like a scarf. It's
The
not
flannel.
okay here.
Could you also drink a hot coffee at the same time? That's the thing about LA that bugs me. I'm like, I get to either have a scarf or a coffee, not both.
True, you can't combo it.
Yeah.
Although I always sit on a heating pad. I'm like a cat. I just need to be warm at all times.
That's so
Mhm.
cute.
So this is my streaming chair, and I have a little heating pad. I'm like,
We just talked about this last night. We're like, there has to be some sort of heating blanket that isn't like the scratchy one from our childhood that has giant chunky wires going through it. Like, isn't there something maybe can go under the sheets just to heat up the bed? Or like, there has to be something because getting into the bed each night in the cold sheets
No.
is like, we're in
I have
2024. This
a
torture should
heated
be in the bath.
mattress pad, and I have had it for years. It's my favorite. I turn it on about an hour before I go to bed, and I turn it off the second I get into bed. So my bed is like in the best way, like somebody has just been in it. It's so warm.
toasty.
It's a what?
Yeah, it's the best.
A heated mattress pad?
Heated mattress pad. Yeah,
All right.
it's the best.
Just have an
Amazon.
idea.
This is so riveting, you guys.
Yeah.
I know.
Can we talk?
Just an idea for
You heard it
Stan.
here first.
I'm sorry to take away
This
from
is what
the-
it's like to hang out with us.
Exactly. I was like, speaking of
Legit.
heated blankets, can we take a question or two from the audience real quick? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pose this. Well, I'll start. I'll start with this one from Paul, and I'll direct it individually to start because I'd love to hear everybody's take actually on this. One is, and maybe Shoshana, you want to start first. Who were your favorite actresses growing up, or that you looked up to, and how did that affect your acting?
That is a little bit obvious, but Marlee Matlin was someone I looked up to. And I first saw her when she won her Oscar when I was 7. And I was like, whoa, that's me on TV. And it really blew my mind because before that, I always saw myself as a hearing person. I really didn't know, I didn't understand that thought. Like you could, I don't know, you could really define yourself by someone else. I didn't realize that. And I feel like acting does that, you know, acting is about truth. And so, yeah, that really changed my life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Emily, do you have an actress that you looked up to
Oh
growing
my
up?
gosh, a ton.
Yeah.
But somebody who just came to mind who, because I was trying to think about like what TV shows I loved. And I grew up watching Moonlighting,
Oh
and
yeah.
I freaking loved Sybil Shepherd in that. I love that she was this strong, feisty woman. Um, and that there was this combativeness with this guy, but they worked together to get things done, and it was funny, and it was just like it checked all the boxes. um so there's obviously like, I mean, Meryl Streep's done a few things that are kind of admirable, but I feel like in terms of refining like the kinds of things I would like to do, that was more along those lines, but I haven't really gotten to do much like that. So I'm still searching.
Let's all, yeah, Paul, put into the universe that they're going to redo Moonlighting and you get to be the Sybil Shepherd.
Boom.
Done. Done. Anybody else want to jump in with an answer before we move on to the next question?
Spider-Man.
I'm sorry?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Or I thought Spider-Man was a great actor. I didn't.
Was it the wall climbing? What part of the acting was really, what was the...
Non-face.
The first toy I requested was a Spider-Man on a bike that you pulled backwards and it would shoot off on its own. Spider-Man was the shit.
You wanted to be an action hero, like a toy.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's amazing. Amazing.
I was equally inspired by Diane Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer. They're both different things that they brought.
Yeah.
And strong women from the start, like people that were fearless. I think it was more their characters, though. I think it was characters as much as actors. And of course, since I learned who she was, Helen Mirren has been my total idol. Like everything, her life, her acting, her work, her roles, all of it.
Yeah.
I like Kim Fields. Growing up watching Facts of Life, she taught me so much. Like I still have lines that she said in my head, and I know the periodic table for gold. Because in a line she was like, how am I going to remember this stuff? Hey, you, give me back my gold watch. And I was like, it's there for life now. That's mine. That's how you teach the kids.
That's
so
amazing.
good.
Well,
I wanted to die like Greta Garbo in Camille. You know, when in Annie, they went to go watch Camille. He was like, Marguerite.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That is such a specific reference. My gosh. I forgot about that.
I love the deep
I
cut.
love that movie. That's a
Did you
deep
use
cut.
it for Abaddon? Did you use it?
yeah. I was like, how do I die so gracefully with my head chopped off and then burned alive? And then however many times they killed me, fuckers.
Amazing.
We can trauma bond over that.
A lot of very killable actresses in this.
How many? Yeah. So who died the most on this series?
Oh,
I'm 3.
Amongst Us?
Well, yeah. I mean, and also, what does that say about
I got
society?
2.
I never actually died.
I think 3.
I got tortured a lot and then died once.
Okay.
That wasn't fun.
Maybe
Yeah,
the max
I didn't
is 3. Has
actually
anyone
die.
died more than 3?
I think I died
Kind of,
3.
it's kind of weird that we all died 3 times. I don't know.
Is that like a
Is that like a
cat?
thing?
Like we have
Like
3
the writer's
lives?
room rule?
Yeah.
Opposite of comedy.
Is that it?
Are we doing pretend deaths? Because if a pretend death doesn't, like in a alternate fantasy, like what might happen, then I never got to die. I almost
Me
died a couple
neither.
times. Fucking
I
proudly.
disappeared. I faded away. And then I was on the phone with Sam suddenly. I was like,
Like
okay, I guess I'm
literally
okay.
faded?
That's
Like,
what
did you
does.
Yeah.
That's what.
You know, like I just looked to Sam and I go, Sam, and he shakes his head, no, no, and then I just kind of fade away. That was in like the
What?
penultimate episode, I think. Yeah, it was happening. Everybody's disappearing, like in the Avengers or whatever the movie
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, but then I was on the phone in the finale with Sam.
Sure.
So I guess I'm okay, guys.
Were you on the phone because it was COVID and they couldn't have you on the set?
I don't know. I'm gonna say
Everyone's
that
on
that's the
Zoom in
rule.
heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Oh, wait,
many of
I was
us
in that
are-
scene too. I was in
Yeah.
that scene where I faded away.
Yes.
Is anyone else
that's
in
right.
what is it called? The after? The empty place? What is
Yeah.
it called?
The empty?
Is anyone else in the empty?
I was the empty.
The empty.
You were the okay, cause
I
so
was
I'm
the
in
empty.
you are empty?
I
You are
was
the
the empty. Yeah.
So I am you. I am
Yeah.
in you.
Well, really, actually, I wasn't, but they were like took on the fake Meg look to trick Cass.
Oh. Okay. Is anyone else there with me? Am I all by myself? Oh, you're
Yep.
there.
I
Oh,
went there
Lisa, you're
eventually.
there. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Amazing. So Debbie from Tampa, and actually I'll point this to you first, Lisa, because I've watched your social media for a long time. But Debbie from Tampa asks, what is your greatest source of empowerment? It's a big question, but do you have a great source of empowerment? You're helping so many people with the lessons that you imbue to other people through your social media and your coaching. But we could go around the room, but I'd love to hear where you get your empowerment from.
God, I really believe in a higher power, something greater than myself. It lets me feel like I'm not doing it alone. It's not on my back. And so it zooms me out of the nucleus that I can sometimes find myself in, or when I have a big emotion that comes up that I thought I was over and it resurfaces and I feel guilt and shame, I kind of give that over to that higher power and let that go. And I feel like I just feel more connected to everybody when I'm in connection with God or spirit or universe or source, however you perceive that, a God of your own understanding. But I definitely don't try and go it alone.
Beautiful. Anybody else want to talk about their empowerment? I think it's important now more than ever that women share how they empower themselves and take care of themselves.
I think that the thing that gives me power is fandom. Like, I think we're all at this constant, state of trying to please people in Hollywood, and their standards are very arbitrary and not very women friendly a lot of the times. And it's easy to kind of reflect that on yourself, like, oh, my abilities aren't good enough, my face is not good enough. And knowing that you have people who you have touched with your art means you could have strength to keep going in the face of such opposition because you don't feel alone.
Yeah.
And so that's what inspires me to keep making my own stuff, because I know that, if you could change one person's life with your art, then it's enough. And you don't need to be, pleasing people who don't get you. And that is a lot of strength that gives me every day, makes me want to get up in the morning and make things.
Beautiful. Hey, and also Felicia, I think your mic is either low back
Weird
or tweaky. May want to just double check the connections. Anybody else?
I was going to say, because I love, Felicia, I love your answer, because I was going to say something similar. And when I was trying to think how to articulate it, because I was thinking like humanity, people, groups of people, all of us, I feel like I bounce back and forth between who's keeping me going. And there's moments where I felt lucky enough to be able to say the thing that keeps someone else going. And I just feel like I wish that narrative was in our society more, that it's not one lone heroic person who kind of saves us or inspires us, but it's actually always groups of people that like we keep each other going. This group keeps me going all the time too. It depends on the circumstance, who it is, but it's always some other person and their story, and the fact that they kept going despite whatever adversity they were dealing with, or the fact that they think that I'm worth something, or that I see in them something so beautiful and worthwhile. And I think it's that constant exchange and back and forth that kind of just like keeps me functioning, going, and wanting to be alive and wanting to reach out and do things.
I second what Rachel's saying. I was going to say my grandmothers. I think you can get a lot from your ancestors, your lineage. Sometimes good things come through, not just trauma. But I would say that there's not a woman in this group that I've not had an empowering conversation with. Not a single. That's why I love you all so much. Literally every single person, and I'm not just saying that. It's not just this panel. Like literally every single one of you has given me something that has empowered me more. 100%.
Same.
100%.
Wow.
And these connections, I can't tell you the number of times. Ruth, too, you just like at the right moment sent me even just like a heart emoji, because you knew like I needed something at that moment, or whatever it is that we do keep each other going.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to all of you for all that.
Yeah, it's so rare, I think, for so many of us, because we kind of go from like show to show and experience to experience. And I personally have found beautiful connections in all of those things. This one is like the most, I think, in depth, and whether it's just the time or the energy that we've, put into connecting in this beautiful global family that's been created from this show. It's really, really powerful. And it definitely feeds me. I know it's gotten me through a lot of really tough times. And so has my spiritual experience and my connection with God. I lean heavy on God, a lot of prayer, a lot of scripture reading, a lot of journaling. That's how I start my day. And it just gives me a lot of solitude and strength.
Beautiful.
And knowing that other people are doing it also gives me strength on the days where I was like, I don't know if I believe in you, God. And you're just like, Elena will say something, or I'll think of a conversation.
I send you a sermon.
I know you'll say, you know what I mean? But I'll know that I'm not the only one. Like, while we might be like, kind of like, when you do a yoga class, you're in it together, but you've got your own journey, but knowing that somebody else is doing it and feeling, the pain and having to go through it and growing just like you are makes you feel like, yeah, I can keep going.
Yeah.
I think too, there's something to say about this particular group. Now, I know women kind of get a bad rap of like competing with each other, stepping on each other to get higher, whatever. It just doesn't exist within this group. Like even in the last week, I've texted with multiple women in this group to help me with something I'm working on, and they're immediately responding and helping me and taking time out of their day to give me their opinion. It just doesn't exist. There's no competition within the supernatural family. It just doesn't happen. And I think that, that's really special and unique.
Yeah.
I think it's a testament to sorry, Charlie, real quick. We have spent 10 plus years together. Like I don't have work friendships like that ever, especially as an actor. You're a contract worker, and so often you're coming into a project, even if it's theater, and you're working every day together. It's only for a short amount of time, and we've all been through so much together in our lives. Our lives have changed so much in that time, and the way that we lean on each other, I feel like, is different than the friendships I have outside of this group. It really feels much more like a sisterhood, in that it's like you're there no matter what. I can't explain it, but it feels so much more like family than friendship. Like everybody, like we could be at each other's throats if we're not, but we're always still there for each other. We always have each other's back in whatever way needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's evident too from the outside. Like anytime I've come to a convention, the way in which you sort of hold each other in these spaces is pretty spectacular. Do you mind if we help someone in the audience, this like coven of women, help somebody in the audience who has a question that needs advice? Lauren asks, "Hi, I have a date on Friday and it's been years. First date advice, please."
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have
Fun.
a
Your knickers
response.
on.
Keep your neck.
Yeah, there's so many raised hands. Okay, we'll get to all of
Or
you.
don't.
I know.
Or
I
don't.
was like, why?
I do.
Get yours.
I do have first date advice. My first date advice is go in and have as much fucking fun as you possibly can. Because if I'm focused on having fun, then my time will be well spent. If I'm focused on whether or not they like me, then the outcome of my evening is in their hands. And I don't like giving that power away anymore. So if I've had fun and they joined me having fun, then I'll think about whether or not I like them. And I like having fun with them. That'll be my next question. But in my life, I've spent so much time adjusting and moderating my impulses for other people's reaction and comfort. And it never, like, even if it turns out the way I want it to, it cost me my joy. It cost me my impulses. So now I lead with what sounds like fun. And then the worst thing is, the worst outcome is I ended up having fun by myself and I'm not going to see the person again.
Kim, I love that because it sort of is the positive thing of where my mind immediately went was like, trust your gut. And you can trust your gut that you're having a good time, but you can also trust your gut that you're not into it and it's okay to leave. Which is so negative, I realize, but I've been in my life in situations where I was like, well, no, but I want them to like me. I don't want anyone to like, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to look bad. Like, and there were situations I should have left. That nothing terrible happened, but also you don't have to be afraid if you do like the person. And if you're, like you said, having fun and you're like, everything's okay. It's okay to just enjoy yourself and have a good time.
And you can just be curious and be open to, and I say this from the experience of like, right before I met the guy who is now my husband, I got on, several dating apps and it was so overwhelming to me because it's all first dates. And I was like, how on earth do I decide if I like somebody? And I definitely felt myself going to that place that you ladies mentioned of like, does he like me? Like it was like this game I wanted to try to win, which is such a waste of time. But then I said, well, what if I don't even know why I'm meeting this person and I'm going to learn something about myself and I'm going to have more information at the end of the night, either about what I like about this guy or about what I like in general or about what I don't like. And even if like this person is not the person for me, I've learned something and I have more information moving forwards. And I think all you have to know, like, is, well, you don't even have to know while you're there, like whether or not you want to go out with the person again, but you definitely don't have to think too far ahead. And I feel like I was in this mindset when I then met my husband, not from a dating app. He was actually on a Tinder date with somebody else. And now we're married. But I was so glad to be in that headspace of just curiosity and like, I wonder what's going to happen. And it doesn't have to be like the guy of my dreams. It doesn't even have to be somebody that I ever want to see again. I think what you said is so true, Sam. Like you have permission to leave if you want. It doesn't have to, no one's forcing you to be there. And if you're not having fun, you can go.
Yeah, I wanted to say something.
Curiosity is a great antidote to fear.
Yeah, 100%. Could not agree with you more. But it's something that I want to say something about this group that applies to this question, which is that one of the magical things is I have never felt like I had to be anything other than myself. And I feel like we've all just loved and accepted each other for who we are exactly in our unique ways. And we're all very different. And it makes this magical combination. And I feel like when it comes to dating or friendship or whatever, the more you're able to just comfortably be you, the more you will find those people that resonate with that and that help to let you be more of yourself, not pretend to be something that you hope that they will like. And that's my biggest advice, is that when you're going on a first date, it's easy to start falling into that, how do I please that person or be the person they want me to be? And that never leads to happiness either way. I think show them yourself completely, and they'll either respond or not, but that will answer your question of how happy you're going to be.
Yeah. And I love the symmetry of actresses who play pretend, telling people to not pretend on their dates. There's a really beautiful, elegant little like think about that. Good.
Because
Good.
we know how empty it is.
Yeah, you know it well. You know it though well, for sure.
I think maybe Rachel and I are the single ones on here. So as a person who's actively dating, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it can be really vulnerable. And it's I think like everyone's saying, just to reiterate, like have fun, enjoy, and decide if it's something that you're enjoying. And if so, second date. If not, next, there's no lack of opportunities.
Yeah.
Can I just say, as someone who does have a partner, but if something were to happen to that partnership, there is no way I would date another person.
Nope, never. Done. All done.
I have no interest.
You say that, and as someone who
I'm
was
done
married
too,
for
yeah.
nearly 20 years, I think like I agree with you. It's really vulnerable, but I've been now single 8 years, and I think we do crave connection. And so it's a beautiful place to say that from, because you're in a committed, happy partnership.
I get you, but I already don't have time for them. Like, I have so much stuff to do. I am so busy. And if there's free time, I could just stare at a wall, or I could play a video game or read a book. Like, I don't know. Other humans bother me though. So that's just me.
You guys both also have littles, like really little.
True.
And that takes up a huge percentage of your time, because I think that
true. If I had older kids, I probably would I would have space for someone else.
A big difference. Yeah.
Well, even if you don't, some of us desire connection and partnership. And so if you're in a space where you don't, then that's great.
True. I mean,
But
anybody would be lucky to be with you.
Desire connection.
Mm-hmm. Elena, you are a catch. Let me just tell you.
100%.
Out here swimming. Keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Oh my God. I talked to somebody, a female friend the other day, and she was describing, she was like, this is the kind of person I want. And I was like, you don't want a partner. You actually want a personal assistant. Like, you literally just want a personal assistant.
What's wrong with that?
I was going to say, I'm like, that's the best partnership in the world.
I will say, I think like the loneliest feeling is when you're with someone who doesn't see you or thinks you're something else. And as an actress, I don't know if you've all run into this, but like I've had people who propositionally like really were like convinced like you're the one for me off of a character I played. And I'm like, if you think so from that character, I promise I am not. It's a really interesting thing, but I think we can also get into that just in life and dating and stuff. If we put that on, then it is, to me, that is lonelier than not having connection, is when someone is connecting to something that like isn't false, is not actually you.
Yeah. Well, I've got a hard-hitting question here. I don't know. I'm just going to ask it. Emily, I don't know why you're making me ask this question. Do y'all think a hot dog is a sandwich? I don't know why.
Oh God!
Wow. Why this is Emily? Get that question. All right. We've got the other questions that are coming in. A question I had actually was, if we were to cast Supernatural right now and it was two sisters, who would you see dream casting for the two sisters?
That's a hard question.
I have an answer.
Yes.
And I'm going to borrow something that Supernatural already did with having multiple actors and actresses play a single role.
Yeah.
Why not just use all of us at varying times? And then we all get to work together. We get
in varying dimensions.
Different dynamics. Yeah. Different dimensions, different genres. Boom.
I saw a female at the LA Comic-Con like a decade ago. I saw a group of women of what is it called? Gender flip. And they read the Supernatural pilot. and it was
Oh,
really cool. Yeah. I don't remember too many details about that, but I remember it being awesome. And a really cool experiment to see how it felt with women in those roles.
Awesome. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good idea. The next Momentus panel.
Yeah, exactly.
Table read.
Hey, yeah.
Nice.
Let's go.
That actually could be fun, like a play.
Yeah, completely. We also got a lot of questions like around you versus your character, and I know, you know, conventions often have like the same kind of questions over and over again, but is there a question you wished you were asked about your characters? Is there something you've like, why don't you ask me about this about my character rather than that? Is there something like
This point, I feel like we've all answered so many questions.
Totally.
Like we don't remember the ones we don't remember.
Yeah.
During the writers' strike, when we were still doing conventions and fans were asked to politely not reference the show, we were just, it was amazing to me that the fans came up with even more original questions, and it was kind of fantastic that there's just this never-ending supply of questions that they come up with, not so much better than I could ever think of. And
you know, it was a few years ago, because I remember very distinctly one convention we were at, and for years, just for the audience's purposes, they, and by they I just mean the entity that is not, you know, conscious maybe, but would kind of pit us against each other, and they'd only invite one woman at a time, and they would say like, women don't sell. And all of a sudden there was a
Some
point
of them still
where,
say that. Sorry, go ahead.
Right, true.
Yeah.
But there was a point where 5 of us got off stage, and I was like, whoa, not only is there more than one woman here, we were all on stage and we didn't get a single question about our characters of the show. And that's where I feel like we transcended. I was like, oh, it's a difference. There's a difference. I did a show a couple years ago, and it was for Stargate. But I remember I had 2 panels in the weekend, and I love panels, but sometimes when people don't really know you just get these monotonous questions about character, about story, and it's shows we've done 15 years ago, and you don't remember it all. And I said that to the moderator. I was like, oh man, you know, I hope something fun comes up. I wasn't complaining. I just was like, here we go, the same 4 questions. And he kind of put it out to the audience, and he was like, let's come up with some creative questions. It was one of the best panels I ever had. Yeah. Because it was about more than just my character, just the show. And it was about how I thought about the world. If I thought a hot dog was a sandwich, it's a very important question.
Is it?
Brianna's a foodie. She's like, do hot dogs matter?
No. There's a time and a place for a hot dog.
True.
I'm just trolling Emily. Yes. Yeah.
How can it not be a sandwich? It's 2 pieces of bread.
Oh no, we're doing the question. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but they're connected. There's like a hinge there.
Is it a taco? I don't know.
Is a pita sandwich a sandwich?
Well,
it's called different things. It's called a wrap, or like
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I guess taco is a wrap.
Happy, Emily? Are you happy? Is this what you wanted?
Yeah, Emily Burr in the audience. How dare you? First of all, we're taking. Let's go. Let's get this back on this train. Back on the train.
Whoa! What's with all caps responses? There's some passionate feelings about.
It's not a sandwich. What is it?
Emily, why are you yelling so much?
Seriously.
Is it because it's round? Because if you cut what if you cut a lot of hot dogs lengthwise and took the roundness off and then put them all in a row? How is that different from
It's a lot of work for the same flavor.
It is.
I'm just saying, if that different from a ham steak.
Okay. We're gonna get this back on the track. Let's
Charlie,
talk.
I need some applause for a moment that I am not now gearing this into the fluidity of the English language and how we each attach so much identity to our own interpretation of words and value and worth. You're welcome.
But you just did.
You just did.
But you just
I know,
did.
but I'm not rhapsodizing that.
Okay.
I'm the nerd who is sitting here looking up sandwich on the in the dictionary.
Okay. Well, let's make.
Yeah, I do want to hear the definition actually. Rachel.
Okay, because I actually
Shauna wants to know what the definition is.
Myself wrong because
Yeah.
I thought a hot dog was not a sandwich, but
This
the
has been a burning
definition
question
is
for Shoshana for
two
a long
or
time.
more slices of bread with a layer of meat, fish, cheese between them. The second definition is a partially slit bread roll, pita, with a filling, and something resembling or suggesting a sandwich as something in horizontal layers. All of them sound like it could be a hot dog.
I
That
agree.
last one is such an excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, something resembling this or that, or I don't know, what do you think? I give
I don't
up.
know. But
Thanks,
yeah.
thank you. I feel edified now, having
Are you
known.
so happy you did this, Charlie?
I'm so glad.
Wait a minute. No, what's most important here, you guys, is that we need to talk about a Pop-Tart. Is a Pop-Tart a
I
sandwich?
knew it.
No, it's a pastry.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Agree.
really just kind of
Agree.
Yeah.
I don't
garbage.
know if I agree. It is bread with something sweet inside.
It's not bread, it's
Is
pastry.
it bread? It's like a
bread
biscuit.
is sealed.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich is sweet inside, and therefore
Bread is bread. It's not pastry. I'm
I-
going to be very literal about this.
Oh man.
I think a pastry
Then is pie a
bread.
sandwich? Pie is not a sandwich. Pie is a pastry.
Wait, Shoshana, what did you say?
Agree. Sam, I was just thinking about pie
A
being
pastry is a
clearly,
bread.
yeah.
That's what I was saying. Bread is a pastry. Yeah, pastry
We
is
made-
bread.
Well, then a pizza is an open-faced sandwich.
Oh no.
Unless it's a calzone.
Okay, this is another idea for a Momentus panel.
Yes, for
Make
sure.
your own
Food.
sandwich, however you interpret that.
Can
It
I
can be a
ask-
sandwich if you want it to be, and if you don't, it doesn't have to be.
Guys, these
There
are
you
the
go.
deep conversations of connection that I really love with my supernatural lady friends.
Yes, it is
like
a
we're
fluid
not
really
world.
getting
talking about our
into it.
spiritual practice.
We don't have to put a label on things anymore, everyone. Live your
True.
life.
Was anyone like playing bingo before this event, guessing that this was the direction we'd end up?
Oh, I knew,
Yes.
I knew this was happening. I
Yes.
can
Charlie was
prepared.
banking on it.
Charlie said that when we
100%.
all got in the room.
I knew it. Do you mind if we go to another question, or do you want to?
Please
Should we do
do.
another
Yes.
moment?
No, please go on.
Okay. I want to.
Wait, why? Why do we have to go on to another question?
There's
Why
more
are you
to
telling us
mine
what to do
here.
right now? You're telling us what to do.
Please, you have the stage. Let's talk about ravioli. Is that a sandwich?
Oh, good question.
I mean, lasagna is several sandwiches on top of each other.
Wow.
That's a Dagwood sandwich.
I'm hungry, y'all.
I know.
Damn.
Me too.
And I have to pee. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to mute
Okay.
myself.
Thank you for letting us know. And you're excused. I don't know. Let's talk about Dream Project for a second. We
Just
got
ran into the atmosphere.
I know, that was amazing.
It was so cool.
Ran across
Yeah.
that planet.
floated away. I'll start with you, Shoshana, because you just made the last 15 minutes of my life so much more enjoyable. Tell me about a dream project for you. What's your dream project right now? That's right. Now it's your turn.
I would like to play a ravioli. That would be my dream project right now. And then I'm going to cast everyone here
Okay.
as like Felicia. Felicia's going to be a Pop-Tart. And then I would cast Emily as a PB&J sandwich. And then Lisa, you can be the hot dog. And then Brianna is going to be the burrito.
Oh, fuck yeah, I win.
I can't see everyone else because I can only see the interpreter. Someone else must go on. Let's see. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Oh, I see. Ruth, you're going to be pizza. Kim, you can be lasagna. Let's see. Rachel, oh, you're a hard one. Hummus wrap. You definitely have to be the hummus wrap. Okay. Aluna, you're gonna be a sub.
Oh.
Let's see. Sam, oh, you're another hard one. Dumpling. Let's see. And then Julie, last but not least. Cherry pie. There we go.
Oh,
That's my dream project right there.
Oh,
Love it.
Thank you so much for asking, Charlie. So
I'm so glad I asked. Does anyone else have a project after that? Yeah,
Sorry, what was the question? I was in the bathroom.
What?
But I
Just
just want to say
working.
the reason I
Working
think
on a job.
Shoshana can answer that way is because she
it's
lives.
important information.
You live your dream project, like you already like it's to me every time I see like what you're directing, what you're making, what you're writing, you feel like you're already doing whatever it is you dream of. I don't know anyone else who's doing that the way you are. So to me, that's always amazing to watch.
Amazing. Kim, you had a
I want to play Iago in Othello.
Ooh. Who would be your Othello?
Lisa's husband.
Oh, yes. Can I get tickets,
It'd be a
please?
good show. It'd be a good show.
I think it would be a good show. And I just think I have a lot of reasons and
talked
I've
about
pulled
it.
it apart as to why Iago could be female identifying or female leaning, non-binary with a female edge.
I want to be Desdemona in that production.
Ooh.
Guys, don't threaten me with a good time. I'm going to try and make that happen now.
Got a lot of theater people here. This
I know
is
people.
about to happen.
I know people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just came from New York. I was in New York last week and I saw a bunch of shows and I would take anything. I don't think I actually have the vocal stamina to be in a musical. I've discovered that about myself. I've come to terms with it. But I would love, I'd love to be on Broadway or Saturday Night Live in any capacity.
I want to be a
I would
corner.
like to see Rihanna on Saturday Night Live.
Thank you.
Felicia, you said you want to be a coroner?
That's my dream. I had a crush on Quincy as a child. So my dream role is a coroner in a supernatural hour show. So I could just stick in the basement dissecting like vampires or aliens, rummaging around. They're like, hey, this one has 4 hearts. And then the 2 lead people who have to work really hard go and solve the crime. But I'm just
So I'm going to jump
chilling
in on
the
that.
corner.
I'm going to jump in on that. I have been manifesting for about 5 or 6 months a detective. And so I will be
Great.
the detective on
Great.
that show that brings you the dead bodies.
Great. I love
Cool.
it.
You know,
was
honestly,
a
that's
missed
the best
opportunity
schedule,
on
Felicia.
Supernatural. I think that Charlie totally should have been the corner in the bunker.
I could totally dissect things. I would just upload a video and just do it. Come on, YouTube University. I'll
think
start
that would
dissecting
be
whatever.
I would like to. I don't want to act in it. I want to produce a historical fiction series.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What era?
Civil War.
Ooh.
Wow.
I like it.
I mean, that sounds exciting. Is there a particular that particular era calls?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. There might be a book. There might be some stuff.
Okay. Like it.
I wanted to say something like for anyone who's making films out there too, what I realized like my heart was like, oh, you know what I really would love to, I don't care if I act in it or not, what I really would love to see in the world is film about someone going through exactly the same things physically and like having a life and the film not being about them either miraculously recovering or you know how sad and tragic it is, but instead like how do you keep going and enjoy yourself and have a life, because I don't feel like we have those examples enough. It does make a difference because for me, I'm always like, I have to figure out how to do each thing. And I would love to see more people telling those stories. So.
Yeah.
Amazing. There's lots more questions too, but we're going to be wrapping up in just a little bit.
Aww.
Listen, we can do play dates anytime. I will organize this. We don't have to stream it. You guys can just take the Zoom and go ahead, obviously. But I guess there's some pretty big questions and some pointed questions around women on Supernatural. And we can be as open or honest as we want to be, but I think that a lot of the questions, and Trinity has one, is how do you feel about the evolution of female characters on that show? How do you see that evolution, or with female representation on that show, and sort of having been away from it for a little while, having not being inside it anymore necessarily, but having lived through it? How do you see that for yourselves?
I'm personally so glad Rowena got there, like to where her there was.
Yeah.
Like how unfortunate it was the very last gasp. I'm so glad that she got to get to be the queen of hell, right? But how I would have loved to have explored how I would have run hell. I never got the chance to do it as an actress, but also I do think the show made great strides towards the end. I think it was catching up with the zeitgeist. And I was fortunate, my character was fortunate in that situation where I know other people weren't as fortunate, but still within that, how much more there is to do and could be shown if we do ever do another half season.
Not that you know anything.
I don't, but just what,
Jared start rumors, Ruth.
Jared has been quite open about it.
Start rumors.
At some point saying, and I hope that if they ever do that so many of the female characters get to do stuff they didn't get to do, and that's my personal.
What if there was like an alternate, like the whole series from the female perspective? Like, did you ever watch The Affair?
Yes.
I loved The Affair. I loved how
Very
like
good.
the first half was from his
I
perspective,
love The
the
Affair.
second half was from hers.
Such a great point. Yeah.
Entire series again from the female characters' perspectives.
I mean, I feel like the fans would not be upset with another entire series again from another perspective.
I just finished watching The Penguin, which is such an incredible show. Kristen Milioti.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. She is unbelievable. And what is great, what I love, I mean, Colin Farrell obviously is incredible, but they write those characters really quite equally. And they're both not redeeming. Like they're both quite amazing, thorough villains. And I love the idea of people writing women not as just victims. Like she was a victim of her circumstances, but she did not defeat it and became a true villain. I like that. I don't think that women always have to have redeeming qualities. Female characters, I mean. I think it's interesting to see the true expanse of all genders, and that not just that like men are heroes or villains and women are victims or, altruistic, if that makes sense.
It's a super dimensional character and allowing her to be flawed, and they played into the tropes of this manic woman, but also then like deconstructing all that. It was really cool.
Such a good show.
Yeah. Anybody else have some thoughts before
Kim has her hand up.
Kim, down in front, yes.
Hi. I love the evolution. I think they evolved all of them, but something that Brianna said just caught me, and I don't think I've spoken to this in a public setting, but I was part of a script evolution that then went on without me and became a big deal, but it was supposed to be feminist because it had a female lead. And I remember trying to explain to a friend of mine why I was so offended by it. And I said, none of the antagonists are female. No one who is threatening is female. And I love the fact that Supernatural found worth and value in female characters as opposed to just being things for the male characters to pivot around. But I also love the fact that they acknowledged that women could be fucking scary and present very valid threats two male characters. And that is something that I still don't see a lot of. I see a lot of threat presented as sexual, I might seduce you. But I don't see a lot of, I could blow you the fuck off this planet. And I love that Supernatural did that.
I really think everyone on this panel, like the characters transcended and were something beyond gender. And I really love that. They were all complex, unique, strong characters in various ways. And I think that was so exciting to see, especially I had gone back and watched the beginning of the series, and I felt like very much the female characters were kind of through the male gaze of just how sexy they could be for the brief time they were alive and then they were killed. And I thought they started to grow and then as it went on, you started to see these full human beings. And I'm just really, really grateful for that transition. And I think that's transitioning in general in film and television. I'm starting to see more characters that aren't through the male gaze. Even some of the like the strong women characters in some of the superhero movies, I was like, that's great. But then I kind of thought too, like they played it a little safe. They did it through the male gaze of like, and she looks really cute in a skirt. But I think that we've started to move beyond that. I think that all the characters we got to play move beyond that.
Yeah, and thank goodness for people like Shoshana and Felicia and Sam, maybe with your new series. So much of it has to be that the writers are female, the directors are female, the executive producers are female, so that literally, and like the people on set, are, it's more that way. That's the only way you really get it authentically through the female gaze, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we have
I just want to add something. When I wrote in the Marvel Writers Room, I wrote on Echo, and we had half of the room were Indigenous writers, and then we did have 2 deaf writers, and then it just ended up being 2 white writers. And it was amazing to see what happens when minorities get to be in the majority. Oh, hi, Jen.
Hi. I got caught. I was making lunch for our 12-year-old.
Hi.
I've been watching.
She's been watching the whole time, but she wanted to pop in, and so I was like, all right, let's make this happen.
Aw.
So nice to have you, Jen.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
So
It's
good
so
to
great
see
to
you.
see you guys. All right, I've been watching. You didn't realize I was watching you all. I was listening and picking up because I'm always like, how do you answer some of these questions? It feels like so much pressure at times to answer.
Like, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah, exactly.
Your
Yeah.
answer.
Challenging.
We need the answer,
Really
Jen.
tough.
That is
It's
a really
tough
great
stuff.
question. I have not. How, is it? It is. Yeah.
No, let's not go back. Let's not go back there, you guys.
Okay, but we have to know what sandwich she is,
Why
Shoshana.
not? Why can't we?
I want to hear the rest of Shoshana's answer.
What was I talking about?
You were talking about the writer's room and the interesting dynamic.
Majority.
Oh, right. Oh yeah, so I was realizing that in that room, before, women were always written as the opposite of men. Like, the same thing with being deaf too. So like, for example, being deaf was always written as the opposite of being hearing. And so we had Indigenous writers, and then we also had, the character is deaf, Indigenous, a female, and an amputee. And so on Hawkeye, they didn't have any of the writers that we had in our room, in their room, maybe, but they didn't. And so then that character at the time was written as the opposite of all the things. And then they hid her artificial leg in Hawkeye. But whenever we wrote her in Echo, we asked Alakwa Cox, who is the actress, and she said, no, we have to see my artificial leg. And it was her idea to turn her leg into a weapon
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I mean, but those are the things that I'm thinking about. When I look back and I see how female characters were written back in the day, it's like you can't write any person as the opposite of another person. You can't do that because that's not reality. No one is the exact opposite of anyone or anything. And so you do have to write them as them and who they are and how they exist in the world and how the system and the world accepts them does present the challenges for them and how they navigate that. But as a human, writing the opposite of another human, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I think that the story fails if that's how people write.
Interesting.
And probably why when we go back on a lot of shows we love, we're seeing that so much clearer now because it's been highlighted by other people writing it in a way that you're like, well, then that makes, like I look at 16 Candles and I was like, ooh, that was like a favorite. Problematic.
Lisa,
Yes.
your new show, I don't know if you can talk about it, but your new show literally is everything we're talking about, isn't it? Where you flip. I don't say too much about it. It's wonderful.
No, I mean, but the show's Beyond Black Beauty and it was written by women and we got to have so many different voices in the mix and we didn't just get to be the stereotype. We got to have a full range of emotions, each of us. And we were in healthy relationships and some of us were in unhealthy relationships. It wasn't anything that you could just say, this is what Black people are, which was really, really nice, with a backdrop of beautiful horses and landscapes and all that other stuff. And so I hope people get to see that one as well. Thanks, Ruth.
It's so awesome. Echo, by the way, was an incredible show for a number of reasons, and it broke so many boundaries. And
Agree.
if anyone hasn't seen it, it's definitely pretty profound. It's also brutal. It's a brutal show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
it's brutal.
Brutal. Jen, since you're here,
on purpose, Tony.
Yes. Jen, since you're here but making lunch, you're going to make us all lunch is the question. Do you have enough to share with the whole class?
What are you making?
Oh, hot dogs.
Sandwiches.
Nothing great. I had a leftover Whataburger from 3 a.m. and I have some healthy Annie's Craft mac.
Yum.
That's a go-to.
We have so much of that at everybody who has a child has that in their house.
It's so nice and easy.
Yes.
Our 12-year-old is in a new phase of life and he's got his first finals this year. And so we're gearing up for a big week of like testing. So we're doing a study break with some brain food of mac and cheese.
It's like a treat. You don't want to bring him raw broccoli when he's already miserable studying.
Exactly. I should just put some whipped cream and ice cream on this.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice work. Good work.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to I mean, y'all know multitasking. It's what we all do.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what I'm making. And
yeah. She's like, stop talking to me now.
No. You're multitasking. It's you have a lot going on. I feel like
we all do.
Yes. I mean, this whole group is,
bananas. I'm so in awe, like every time I hear what y'all are up to and like working on, and I love it. So it's so inspiring and so cool. And it reminds me of that quote of when you shine, I shine. It's just like, I get so excited hearing about all the cool things, and the fact that we all got to meet on a cool thing and get to know each other. And now for me, 16 years later, here we are staring at each other in all different cities and places and have a connection, and just seeing how well everyone's doing it's really empowering and inspiring and special. It's very special.
Jen, I taught baby pigs to sit on command.
God, I love it. So can you teach my children to sit?
I don't know. Do they like Cheerios enough to do anything for them? They sit.
This is the most Kim Jen conversation of all time, by the way. This is like
Meg, this is everything to me. I've thought about getting a pig, but my concern is apparently they're like very codependent and needy, and I already have a husband like that. So he's not a pig; he's perfect. But I mean, I've heard they're just very needy, and it made me a little nervous.
Yeah. On our next,
I have a three. Don't you?
I have two baby
pigs are,
girls
like,
that
having a
are pot
three-year-old
bellies that are the sweetest little nuggets ever. And if you get two, then they have each other.
Perfect, just like children.
Shoshana, what were you saying?
Sorry.
I was saying that I found a pig on the street before, and it ran
What?
away from the petting zoo. They didn't notice. It was very tiny, and I was wanting to bring it home. I wanted to bring it home, and then I found out you can't have a pig in LA in your house. And then if you do have a pig, it is like having a 3-year-old human. And like you have to like constantly stimulate them and keep them engaged and make sure that they're connected, because if not, then they get really bored, and it's not really a good thing to have a bored pig. And so, yeah, at the time I already had a 3-year-old that I had to keep engaged, and so then having 2 3-year-olds,
Having 2 teenagers for the rest of your life.
yeah, and then it's like having twins at the same time. I heard, but one is a 3-year-old human, but then the other one is like a 3-year-old pig. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. That would be.
Well, I feel like we've covered a lot of ground today. Our hot dog sandwiches, pig care and maintenance was also super helpful. First date replies and what to do, how we get our power. I mean, this is what an amazing group of people. People in the audience too. Thank you so much. Such positivity in the chat today, and thank you all so much. It's been
And thank you, Charlie. Thank you for bringing us all
Thank
together.
you.
What a treat. What a treat.
You all deserve more than you've been given, in my opinion, and I hope that these next intervening years just gives you everything you want, because you guys all deserve it. And yeah, big things to all.
You're a delight.
Shirley.
Thank you, Charlie.